We begin the special edition of the Rachel Maddow Show as we continue our breaking news coverage of the last American combat troops, the formal ones anyway, leaving Iraq tonight. The first vehicles in the convoy having already crossed the border with Kuwait. The soldiers from the 4th Stryker Brigade, 440 of them, that they are transporting, having emptied their weapons for the very last time, at least on this mission. The last of those vehicles rolling through those gates only minutes ago, and the gates closing behind them at 3:53 a.m. prevailing local time in Iraq, 8:53 p.m. here on the East Coast. Alongside Rachel Maddow in Baghdad tonight, I'm Keith Olbermann at our MSNBC headquarters in New York. Rachel's been in Iraq this week for the final phase of the combat troops leaving the country and joins us now live from a military base inside what used to be known as the Green Zone, now the International Zone. Rachel?
Thanks very much, Keith. The reason that no one else in all of TV in all the world is able to bring you the images that we've been able to broadcast on from NBC News and on MSNBC tonight, the reason that we and we alone are able to broadcast from the surprise early ending tonight of the combat mission in Iraq as the last combat troops have driven across the border into Kuwait, beating President Obama's deadline for them to leave by nearly 2 weeks. The reason we can show you Richard Engel with these last troops leaving Iraq and no one else can show you footage like this is because NBC News has technology to do this that no one else has. And that technology has a backstory and an explanation that is as emotional as the technology is unique. Please allow me to introduce you to the Bloommobile.
You've probably seen this before, right?
I have never seen this before, but this vehicle is so legendary at 30 Rock that I feel like I'm approaching hallowed equipment.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's called the Bloommobile.
The Bloommobile, that's right.
After David Bloom, who of course used it in 2003 during the invasion, tragically died during that push-in. So
he died during the invasion. He had with deep vein thrombosis.
Exactly.
He'd been confined in a small space for many hours and ended up
killing him.
Yeah.
It was named in his honor, and it has been brought back to Iraq for the first time since then.
Really?
So it was brought in during the invasion because it has this unique ability. Behind this golf ball in the back, or under the golf ball in the back, is a dish, a satellite dish. Most satellite dishes will look up into the sky, lock onto a satellite, and then it stays there and you broadcast.
And so you've got to be stationary because you're locked onto the thing.
You're locked onto a satellite in the sky, and you can broadcast as long as you have that fixed signal.
Yeah.
This vehicle, the dish that's underneath this dome, is on a gyroscope. So it will lock onto a satellite and then shift to track the satellite even as the vehicle moves, including going up and down and over debris and rocks. It can be on water, on a ship. So it has a unique capability.
So this is it's mounted to this F-450. It's got a gyroscope in there. The satellite is in the sky in a relatively stationary position. This is able to lock onto the satellite even as the vehicle is moving, which gives you the ability to broadcast live from places that nobody who doesn't have a Bloommobile can broadcast from.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
So on the way in, during the invasion, David Bloom used it to broadcast as American troops were crossing from Kuwait into Iraq, entering into a live battlefield.
Yeah.
Now, full circle, using this to cover the drawdown of American troops and the end of combat. So it has a symbolic resonance for us in addition to the unique technical capabilities that it has.
Richard Engel showing me the Bloommobile, the means by which he is able to broadcast from this historic moment tonight, this historic surprise moment tonight with U.S. combat troops crossing into Kuwait, about 2 weeks shy of the deadline that President Obama had set for U.S. combat troops leaving Iraq. I will tell you, it's very humbling to be here as an MSNBC primetime host among the NBC crew, the NBC producers, NBC correspondent Richard Engel, because they have been through so much, and because covering this war has been such an emotional thing and has taken such a toll on the journalists who have covered this war.